competency-based assessment, CBA. So it's not CBC, it's CBA and CBE. So let's just open it the word of prayer. I know many of us did not know that CBE was now, I think that is how CBC was replaced from CBC to, I think, to CBE. Yeah, hata sisi tuko hapo, so hatujui kama ni CBC ama ni CBA, but tonight we have a professional who will help us to understand some of these things. So let's, if you have a neighbor who has who has a kid in CBC or CBE or CBA, please bring them here on board. Let me give you a few minutes to share the post again, so that at least we can gather as many as possible to hear about this, because I was joking around in the day and I was saying that even the government was shocked. Like, what on earth did we just launch? And so parents have to go and get further degrees so that they can help their kids do mathematics. Like, I give you an example. For me, I don't understand mathematics these days. I know what we did in school, but whatever they are doing, it's something very different. And now I have to participate more than enough for my kid to, we have to participate in the house, like fully, everyone. And right now, not only teachers, so the parents have decided we're gonna now get house managers who know how to do homework, because so it's an upgraded version that now even house managers have to know how to do. They must know English. They must help our kids on how to study and do homework. So thank you so much. I know our speaker is here, so I want us to pray and then welcome our speaker to start. I will take questions, and I would probably, if you have questions that are burning, send them in the comment section, and put a Q before your question. So a Q dot, and then I will get all those questions, and then we will try and see how many of the questions will be answered. But then be tentative enough that we don't repeat ourselves, so that at least you can go and also equip and go and help others that will have you question. I also see that we have people here who are aspiring to be parents. Let's celebrate them. Before we celebrate our speakers, let's celebrate those who are aspiring to be men and women who don't have kids yet, but they want to know what do we need to do and to know before we can even get we can bring kids on board. So let's pray. Everlasting Father, we are grateful for this evening that you have gathered us here to listen and to advance ourselves in knowledge on matters pertaining education. Thank you for our speaker, Lydia, a professional who you have equipped and given a burden for education, competence, excellence. And so we ask you, Father, that you increase your grace over her life, and that you bring men and women around her to help her advance, and men who you have sent for her to advance this sector or this mountain. Thank you for her life, and thank you, Father, for even allowing her to participate in our knowledge and upliftment in matters pertaining the current systems in the education sector in Kenya. We're asking you, Father, that you help us, that tonight will be a night that will transform the lives of many who are here, and many that they will meet, many that will watch online. We are grateful and we are thankful in Jesus' mighty name. Amen and amen. So thank you so much. Lydia, please, I know you're here. I've seen you before.
Yeah.
Let me try and introduce you. So Lydia is not new to some of us. She has happened to have attended a couple of our lectures. last year. I met her, and I actually came to learn on her passion. She spoke passionately about education, and she actually was intrigued that we have interest in praying and approaching schools so that we can actually try and see what we can do as a ministry. So Lydia is an education specialist working with the Ministry of Education, driven by the passion and transforming education system and improving learners' outcome. So she works in the Ministry of Education. She firmly believes that education is a powerful tool for changing lives, which it is, and is committed to ensuring quality, relevance, and excellence in its delivery through her role in quality assurance and standards. Lydia is particularly passionate about demystifying complex education frameworks, such as competence-based education, which is CBE, and competency-based assessment, which is CBA. So we don't hear CBC anymore. This making them accessible and practical for stakeholders like aspirants and parents who are coming. Through her work, she campaigns, she champions clarity, accountability, and continuous improvement, contributing to an education system that is impactful, inclusive, and truly transformative. So please, with hand clap and emojis of celebration. This one we will not say standing ovation because some of them are in the buses on their way home. Some of them are in bed, some of them are in the kitchen. So thank you so much, Lydia. Karibu sana. Let's put our hands together. Welcome. Lydia. Thank you so much. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Asante. Thank you very much, Pastor Charles. I'm very grateful to be here, extremely grateful. I'm grateful for Pastor Joyce and yourselves. You're people that I admire very much. The way you do things with a spirit of excellence. It's something that I really admire. Thank you for inviting me through Eunice, my friend. I am so grateful to be here this evening.
Amen.
First of all, let me say that I'm a daughter of the kingdom.
Amen.
And I love Jesus. I think that's very important for me to say so that someone may know what is my plate number of my vehicle, that I love Jesus. And I believe I work as I serve the Lord. And where I am is where I've been called. It is, I serve the Lord where I am. And this evening, I'm extremely excited to be here with you and with everyone who is here. I hope you can hear me. If you can confirm for me that you can hear me very clear, I would like to be very clear with you. Once
Yes.
a teacher, always a teacher. Yes.
We
You want to know that your students are listening to you and that you're not talking to yourself. So first of all, even before I start sharing, I want to demystify something. I want to demystify CBE, CBC, CBA. So CBE means competency-based education. Competency-based education is a system. I want to go a little bit past and say we were having 844, and I believe maybe 95% of the people I'm talking to went through 844, obviously, and maybe there could be, I don't know, but I don't think there's anybody who went earlier than that. 844 was not a system. 844 was a structure that you were going for 8 years in primary, 4 years in secondary, and 4 years in university. But the governments that were there and the ministries of education that were there called it a system. It was not a system. It was just a structure. If you think about actually what 844 was a knowledge-based system. What we are having now is a competency-based education system. Now, inside the competency-based education system, we have the competency-based curriculum, CBC, a curriculum. And then we have the competency-based assessment, CBA. So when we're talking about CBE, we talk about competency-based education system. So the system that we are going through right now is made up of competency-based curriculum and competency-based assessments. And that gives us the competency-based education. Why is that so? When you talk about education system, you're talking about more than just the curriculum, more than just the assessment. You're talking about the infrastructure. You're talking about resources. You're talking about everything that is going to be used for bringing education to our children. Having said that, I can now share my screen, and I know I have an hour, so I'll try and keep time and do not want to take more than I've been given. So allow me to share my screen with you. Just give me a minute. I'll do this very fast. Yes, I'm just about to get there. And you will confirm with me if you can see my screen. So if you can see my screen, may I know that you can? Thank you. Thank you. So thank you, Pastor Charles. So this is competency-based education. And I'm going to use, I'm going to take us through from the beginning, maybe to some time where we can understand. And we'll say, why did we leave 844 and we came to CBE? Number one, it is because of the reforms guided by the Constitution of Kenya 2010. It is because of the Kenya Vision 2030. It is because of the task force report done by Professor Odhiambo. It is because of the KICD in its assessment of 2016 that looked at 844 and we said there are problems with our system. We need to change. And recently we had the Presidential Working Party report on education in 2019. All these are policy documents and policy decisions that government comes to make because of research, because of what is happening, the world of work, where the world is going, where are we globally, where is Kenya globally in education, how are we doing? And then there is need for reforms. So the rationale for curriculum reforms are this, among others, that will always make governments change education. Remember, education is a profession, just like there is medicine, just like there is engineering. So although education is known by many people, it is a profession that has experts that can be able to tell whether it is moving well or it is not moving well. And therefore, out of all that, there is always curriculum reforms. The global trend using the UNESCO benchmark is that a curriculum must be changed every 10 years, every 10 years. And there is constant needs assessment surveys done by government. And in this case, the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. If you look at the curriculum reform at this point, which we started in 2016, and that, as you have heard, I work in the Ministry of Education. So when I say we, I'm inside that ministry. So this particular curriculum that we are in, called the competence-based education, is geared on this vision. It is anchored on this vision that we shall have an engaged, an empowered, and ethical citizen. When you think of Kenyans as we are, we will ask ourselves, are we engaged? Are we empowered? And are we ethical? Remember, in Kenya, and all this will be brought about by the fact that we are going to give a curriculum that is world-class, it has excellent teaching, it has excellent school environments, it has resources, and it has sustainable visionary curriculum. For us to have an engaged citizen, it means it is a citizen who understands what the law is, who understands what it is to be engaged in daily living, an empowered citizen, empowerment. You can imagine an empowered citizen. You can ask yourself, did the curriculum that you went through empower you? Did the curriculum you went through make you an ethical citizen? We live in a country where people think they can get rich. However, the means justifies, what do we say? The end justifies the means. We are saying we want people who are ethical children. And those of us who are having children in 844 and CBE at the same time can give a story about that. We are also anchored on this mission that every learner in the school matter. We must identify the potential of every learner. That's why in CBE, every learner is given a chance. Is it cooking, you know how to cook, cook. Is it singing, you know how to sing, sing. Because we want to identify the potential of the learner. All learners are successful in CBE, and we shall nurture the potential because we are nurturing every learner's potential. In CBE, we do not have a poor learner. In CBE, we do not have a time taker. In CBE, we do not have a slow learner. We don't have that. We only need to know what is this learner's potential. Is it in mathematics? Like what Pastor Charles has said, he doesn't know mathematics. But I would want to ask, he's so good in another area, that does not make him any worse because the one who knows mathematics does not also know what he knows. So we are saying every learner, everybody has a potential. And at this point, I would pause and ask you, if your teacher and your parent discovered your potential, what would you have become? That is a question that I want you to answer in my chat box later when we are interacting. What would you have become if your teachers and your parents allowed you to become what you are to become, what God created you to become? Remember, God creates us with different graces, with different gifting, and with different talents. And there is no straight jacket that fits all. And that is why we have CBE. I know parents are feeling stressed about it, but it's because it is pushing you. It is pushing your boundaries that let the learner, let the child become who God created them to be. Up to there, I want you to understand the vision and the mission. That we are going to have an engaged, empowered, ethical citizen, and the mission is to nurture every learner's potential. Now, every education is anchored on national goals of education. In Kenya, we have 8 national goals. They are so critical because that is why we have the Ministry of Education and why we go to school. Maybe you did not know why education is offered. 1, to foster nationalism, patriotism, and promote national unity. 2nd, to promote socioeconomic, technological, and industrial needs of our national development. To promote individual development and self-fulfillment. That is the essence of going to school. To promote sound moral and religious values. This is Kenyan education. There are some curriculums that do not have that number 4. They have only promote sound moral. They are silent on religious values. In the Kenyan system, we are big on religious values. Promote social equity and responsibility. We want citizens who understand what social equity and responsibility is all about. Promote respect for the development of Kenya's rich and varied cultures. We do not want tribalism and all those things. Education should be able to take us to a level where we feel we are one. 7, promote international consciousness and foster positive attitudes towards other nations. Remember, we are not isolated. We live in a global village. How do we promote ourselves internationally when we go out, when we have very many students of our schools that are international? How do they foster positive attitudes toward those nations? And finally, promote positive attitudes toward good health and environmental protection. Remember the issues of Wangari Maathai. We want everyone to respect the environment and to take care of their good health. If you look at Nairobi and the way we are flooding, then you wonder, did education help us? Or what do we need to do? And I want you to keep looking, if you have a child in CBE and 844, you yourself, you're 844. So I want you to look at the difference between you and them, and then you'll tell me whether there's a difference in how they are learning. Now, this is the Organization of Basic Education. To my extreme left, there is something called age-based. On my extreme right, there is stage-based. Now, those two are forms of curriculum. We have an age-based curriculum and a stage-based curriculum. The age-based curriculum is for the regular learner. So I want us, first of all, to know the correct term to use for people who are living with disabilities and special needs. They are not called abnormal or anything. They are normal. They are only living with they are living with that condition. They are not that condition. So I want us to agree that even if someone does not see, first of all, you see them and then you see the disability. You don't see the disability and then you see the person. So for example, we do not see learners who are blind. We say learners who have blindness. They are learners first, and then they have blindness. On this left side, they're age-based, meaning they're regular students, not normal students. There is nobody who is normal. We all have a special need. They are regular schools. You can almost tell if your child is 10 years old, they'll be in grade 4. If they are 14, we know they're in grade 7. If they are 18, we know they are in grade 12. Because our curriculum is age-based, meaning everything they are learning is according to their mental and psychological development. And I want parents to understand, when you take your child to school before their years, you're not doing them a service, you're doing them a disservice, because they have not grown and matured enough to learn, because our curriculum is age-based. You enter school at age 4. Age 3 and below, we don't have that in school. We have early years. Preschool, you can see now in the middle, look at the age-based, we have early years of education, middle education, and senior school. So at 2 years, we have pre-primary. 2 years, 2 years of pre-primary. When I say pre-primary, it is at age 4. That age 4 and 5, that is called pre-primary. If you look at age 1, 2, and 3, there is no school. That child is supposed to be at home, taking porridge, sleeping, growing. When they're getting to age 4 is when they go to school. Age 4, they start learning. And then age 5. And then when they are at age 6, they join grade 1. Grade 1, I think there's some noise somewhere. Okay, I hope it's not on my side. So age 6, 7, and 8 is called lower primary. That is grade 1, 2, and 3. When they are at age 10, they're in grade 4, 5, and 6, upper primary. And then lower secondary, they're ages 12 and 13 and 14. And then they go to senior school at age 15, which was like Form 2 in the last curriculum, in the 844 curriculum, which is still have Form 3 and Form 4s, they're still there. Now, once they join the senior school, we have 3 pathways. This is where we are battling with parents. Parents who think that all their children should go to STEM. STEM means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Social studies means everything else. If you want to become a lawyer, a teacher, HR, all those other careers are in social sciences. STEM is exactly that. Medicine, engineering, pilot. Pilot actually is a social science because it has some subjects that are in social science and mathematics. And then we have art, sports, and science. Parents don't want their learners to do art, sports, and science. And yet it is the most lucrative, it is the most enjoyable, it is the most paying. When art and sports science, I know I'm not popular right now with some parents, but that's what it is, that God has given us different abilities. I can be a good orator. I can be a good sports person at the same time. I can be a mathematician at the same time. But the thing is, what do I like? What am I performing best? What is my personality like? That one places me to the pathway that I require to go to. So that is what it is. I have put this together. And then the stage-based is for special needs education. What is equivalent to the pre-primary and lower primary is called foundational level. And in stage-based, it means they move per stage. When they acquire a certain competence, are they able to blow their nose? Are they able to do pot training? Are they able to feed themselves? They move to the intermediate level, pre-vocational and then vocational. Vocational is where they can be able to make beads. They can be able to make maths. So there is no learner who cannot go to school and learn, regardless of how they are intellectually or otherwise. Even if they are physically challenged, they are intellectually challenged, they are hard of hearing, they cannot hear, we are nurturing every learner's potential. And I want you to become the advocate of everyone who has a child with a special need. Encourage them to take them to school. Tell them it is possible for them to learn. Now, in the middle school, I will not read everything, but because I also don't want to take much time, but I want you to see this. In every level of learning, there are learning outcomes. We want to say that by the end of upper primary and junior school, for example, a learner should be able to apply literacy, numeracy skills, logical thinking appropriately in self-expression. And this is what the Kenya National Examination Council tests. From the learning outcomes, we come up with assessments. Because you've gone through this number of years, are you then able to do this that you are supposed to have done by this time? Communicate effectively, demonstrate social skills, explore, manipulate, and all that. Practice hygiene, demonstrate, all this. I don't want to spend much time there. Senior school, grade 10, 11, and 12. We also have learning outcomes for senior school. We're expecting that someone who is grade 12, who is a 16, 17, 18-year-old, by the end of senior school, regardless of the pathway, are able to communicate effectively and utilize information and communication technology across varied contexts. They are able to apply mathematical, logical, and critical thinking skills for problem solving. That is something that was not very keenly done in 844. Apply basic research, and scientific skills to manipulate the environment and solve problems. When you look at even the children in grade 3, and I keep looking at the media and how they report that children were sweeping in the market, children are being asked for chicken, children are cooking. We are trying to do something. Apply basic research. We are trying to identify where is the strength of this learner. Exploit individual talents for leisure, self-fulfillment, career growth, further education, and training. Uphold national moral and religious values and apply them in day-to-day life. That is very critical for us and for me. I go to schools to ensure that that one is done without a compromise. Apply and promote health, protect, preserve, and improve the environment. Demonstrate active local and global citizenship. Demonstrate, appreciate diversity, manage pertinent and contemporary issues responsibly. And you can see already we have a group of Gen Zs who are getting into this demonstrate active local and global citizenship. I'm telling you, the children who are doing CBE, they'll be citizens for the global, for Kenya and the global. So in senior school, I want us to understand this because parents have asked very many questions about these things. So senior secondary covers grade 10, 12 for the ages 15 to 17 or 18, depending on when children start at school. In this level, there are 3 learning pathways: the arts and sports science, the social sciences, and then STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Kenyan parents want everyone to go to number 3, yet themselves, they did not even get to number 2. You know, parents in Kenya want their learners to become what them themselves did not become. I wanted to be a doctor, so I must have a doctor in my house. That is a thing. So the core subject here, in addition to the pathway chosen, a learner takes 2 core subjects. Core subjects mean on top of the other subjects they've taken, they will take community service learning, which is actually a community work. You go and sweep the market. There you saw those grade 3 doing. Everybody is doing it. Go to church, go to children's home, do some, so that you can have some feeling, some community sort of patriotism of accepting those who are within the community. Physical education is PE because we want healthy people. So the core competencies. So in CBE, these 7 core competencies are extremely important for us. That every learner who goes through CBE, this is what we want them to learn. On top of every other competence that they will learn, we want them to be good communicators and collaborators, such that when you go to a classroom right now, you will see this coming out. Teachers will be asking learners to express themselves. And you will see the children of CBE can actually be able to express themselves. If you look at the Sunday school we are having right now, those children are not like the Sunday schools we've had in those other years. They are able to express themselves because it is a must in class for the teacher to tell the learner, why did you say that? And why did you think that way? When you ask a learner why, you build critical thinking and problem solving. So as a parent, when your child asks you why, usimkemee, don't say you ask too many questions. When a child asks many questions, you're growing their critical thinking. And we want critical thinkers in Kenya. We want problem solvers. We do not want problem makers. We want problem solvers. We want when they see a problem, they become a solution. And most of the graduates of 844, they are problem makers, they're not problem solvers. They're permanently asking for jobs instead of them creating jobs. We want them to be imaginative and creative in the world of AI. We want them to create programs. We want them to go out there and see a problem in the community and come up with a solution. They want them to go to the farm. They see a problem in their community, they become imaginative and creative and come up with a solution. And senior school has a lot of project work. Junior school has project work too. And then we want them to be citizens. Citizenship is critical. Citizenship does not just mean how to sing the national anthem. It means appreciating the desk mate. If the desk mate does not have a pen, I can give them my pen. That is citizenship. If they see the parent can actually offer a ride to another neighbor when they are going to town, that is citizenship. So let us train our children, even in these core competencies. Digital literacy, that is a must. If they're going to become global citizens, they must become digital literate. When you have our children in grade 10, if you see how they manipulate the computer in learning, you'll be shocked. And then we have something called learning to learn. Learning to learn is open to learning. What we are doing right here is learning to learn. We learn to learn. We are permanently learning. And we want our learners in CBE to understand there is no end of learning. When they see a newspaper, read it. When you see something, read it. Read it. Find out. Ask your parent. CBE parents, the Gen Z parents we are having, are getting sometimes irritated because when we tell the learner, when you go home, ask your parent to show you this. Some parents are getting tired, and you will not get tired after this training. Self-efficacy. Self-efficacy ni kujiamini. We want learners to be self-assured, self-esteem, to be high, self-aware. Who am I? And what do I want? Parents were asking, will grade 7 know what they want? Which career? Because for them to choose schools for senior school, they are choosing their career first. And I met very many parents who are saying, can a grade 7s tell me what they want to become in future? Oh, yes, they do. They do. As your son or your daughter can actually tell you, I want to be a lawyer at 15, and actually they become a lawyer if they have been exposed to all these other experiences. So self-efficacy is important. What has ailed us in 844 is lack of self-efficacy, is lack of learning to learn, is lack of imagination and creativity, is lack of critical thinking and problem solving. And that is why we had to change the curriculum. So join the government in supporting CBE. Now, we also have pertinent and contemporary issues in curriculum. On top of the core competencies, every lesson, most lessons must teach citizenship, which includes the peace education, what I have already discussed there, health education. They are taught not to take drugs, lifestyle diseases, issues of early sex, all those things they're taught. Personal hygiene, all those things they're taught. Life skills and values education, life skills, values, moral education, and human sexuality. Now, there is a difference between human sexuality and comprehensive sexual education. Comprehensive sexual education teaches learners even what is not age appropriate. In Kenya, under the KICD, the Ministry of Education has given guidelines that our learners cannot be taught more than what they know. For example, we do not teach our learners on contraceptives. We do not teach them on LGBTQ and homosexuality. We tell them to avoid them, but we do not go to the nitty-gritty of what it is. We do not teach them of things like masturbation. We do not tell them what it is because it's not age appropriate, it's not culturally appropriate, but we teach them human sexuality, reproductive health. We teach them that. Now, the difference between what we teach and what some foreign curriculum teach, some foreign curriculum may, not all, may teach even the nitty-gritties of how to have safe sex, of how to do all those other things. So when you see human sexuality, let it not scare you. It is age-appropriate, well-guided, with a lot of values. And then we teach them education for sustainable development. We teach them non-formal programs and community service learning, I have talked about it, and parental empowerment and engagement. We must empower the parent who is you. We are empowering you now, right now. I thank Pastor Charles so much that I have this forum to talk to parents and to talk to other people. This is clearly a parental empowerment and engagement forum. Now, the merits of competency-based educational curriculum, it is learner-focused. The focus is less the school and the system and more on the education and the learner. It focuses on the competencies other than, did you get grade A? We are like, what can you be able to do? You say how to cook. I can give an example. So we have many engineers in Kenya who cannot go to the road and make a road. They have to rely on someone else. Theirs is to say, fanya, fanya. We have many cooks who cannot cook, but they have other people below them. But in CBE, we are saying, if you are saying you're a chef, show us how much you can cook. If you can say you're a baker, show us your stuff. Do it. Competence, other than the end product. The process is as important as the end product. Balancing between formative and summative. So formative assessments is what teachers do. Every day homework, every day assignment, every day question and answer in class. Summative is what we give at the end of the term, at the end of the year, at the end of a system. At the end of grade 3, we have, I'll take you through CBA in a minute. And then it is digitally based. The formative assessment teachers are getting assessments from the Kenya National Examination Council through the digital platforms and the school portals, and then collaborative and core development models. Like they need to learn that. Now, allow me to take you through the parental role of competency-based assessment. I want us to discuss this a little. What is competency-based assessment? in the CBC curriculum. Remember what I said about CBE. CBE is an education system. So the competency-based curriculum is still there. The competency-based assessment is still there, but the education system is bigger than the curriculum and the assessment. I said it has resources, it has learners, it has schools. A system is bigger than just a curriculum. So the competency-based curriculum is a curriculum that guides how teaching is to be conducted. The CBE is the process of determining the capability of learner to apply successfully, perform what they have learned. So the curriculum takes them through. The assessment shows us to what extent have you learned. So that is what it is. And the CBA is both in class, formative, and summative at the end of the term. For example, we have midterm, we have CATs, all those are formative assessments. Even the homework is a formative assessment, but at the end of the term, there is a summative assessment. So how is CBA different from examinations? Remember, under the competency-based assessments, we do not have examinations, we have assessments. So examinations such as KCPE and KCSE are tests that are theoretical knowledge at the end of a learning cycle and for certification. Theoretical. Kaa chini, fanya mtihani. Whether you are in class or not. Whereas it is often a mark of completion of a learning phase, and its purpose is mainly to inform learner placement at subsequent levels. That is what KCPE and KCSE is about. Now, when it comes to CBA, the competency-based assessment, it is a systematic way of collecting information and documenting what the learner knows. From day one, they open school. The teachers start collecting what the learner knows and what information they have, what they can do before as they learn and as they transit from one level to another based on specified competencies and criteria. So it is more detailed on what the learner does, what they know. It is not just at the end of the term. It uses a variety of tools and gives opportunities to learners, peers, teachers, and parents or guardians to track the progress of the learner through real-time feedback mechanisms. Now, I want to show you the levels of assessments in CBA so that you understand when you have a learner in in this CBE curriculum, system of education. At the end of pre-primary 2, the learners are assessed internally. Then all children transit to grade 1. That is a tool there called Kenya School Readiness Assessment Tool. That is a tool, it's an internal tool. You may not even know that it happened for your child. At grade 3, children take a school-based national assessment, which is not used for ranking. They all proceed to upper primary. At grade 3, why do we do that? We want to track how they are learning. That is like, we just want to see what is happening in school. It's a national assessment. Note, it is not an examination. It is an assessment. Assessment is different because I want to see what you know, what you don't know. It is not like you're competing with anyone. In CBE, you compete against yourself. In upper primary assessments, I think many of us here have heard about 𝐭𝐡𝐚𝐭. Learners are assessed at each of the upper primary grades to track their learning progress ahead of the national assessment at grade 6. So in grade 4, the school-based assessment will account for 60% of the total score. What does that mean? In grade 4, they will have 30% of what they know. In grade 5, they take 30%, and in grade 6, it has 40%. That is what builds up 𝐭𝐡𝐚𝐭. There is no grade that gets lost in CBE. So a summative assessment is administered at the end of grade 6, which will compromise the remaining 40% of the total score. So do not be lied to by these private schools that tell you that your child requires extra effort for them to pass 𝐭𝐡𝐚𝐭. 𝐭𝐡𝐚𝐭 already is determined. 60% your child has it by the time they're going to grade 6. NEC has 60%. All they are looking for at the end of grade 6 is 40%. And it is not a stress. It is not like KCPE. KCPE was a matter of life and death. And KCPE did not matter whether you went to grade 4, to grade 5 to anything. All there was a summative exam. That is how punitive 844 has been for ourselves. But CBE is allowing a learner, if grade 4, the child was not maybe in school, they have grade 5, they have grade 6. And this marks the end of the primary cycle. And then they go to JS, which is our junior school. The junior school is between primary school and Form 1. It is actually the previous standard 6, 7, and 8. 7, 8, and 9. Performance of learners that will be used to place them in junior school. That performance does not even matter. Everyone goes to junior school. At grade 9, learners will be formatively assessed with a summative assessment and head of JS with the same criteria. Grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9, they will all form the 𝐭𝐡𝐚 marks that takes them to senior school. Now, when going to senior school, 3 things are used. Their scores in grade of 𝐭𝐡𝐚, the preference, and the interest will be used for placement in senior school, where they will follow one of their preferred career pathways. What informs that is how they have been performing in the following. All these are tools that are used by teachers to determine where your child lies. CBE uses a variety of assessment tools to address the expected learning outcomes. Teachers observe. They use questionnaire. They use written tests. They use learner's profile. They use all this. And you as a parent, even projects. And out of this, the teacher will tell you, from where I am, your child is in arts and sports. Usipigane. When the child says, Mom, I want to go and study drama. Mom, I want to go and do maths. I want to go and do social science. It is out of very many tools, The CBA tools collect information or acquisition of competencies by a learner. They determine the level of acquired competencies. They provide feedback to the learner and other stakeholders. They inform improvement on instructional strategies. They offer relevant and appropriate interventions. So all those tools I have shown you, there are about 12 of them. They are going to do these 5 things that is very critical. Feedback from these particular tools. These tools you have seen there, they give the feedback. The feedback by the teacher or by the parent must be smart. Don't worry, you're not an expert in it. The teacher is. Every feedback is specific measure common across the sectors. It must be constructive, positive, optimistic, genuine, and appreciative. So regardless of what I told you from the beginning, we do not have poor learners in CBE. We appreciate them. They have tried. If mathematics, they got 20 and everybody was supposed to get 30, we appreciate them because they are good in drawing. The ones who are good in math don't know how to draw. So we are all the same. There is none. If you ask yourself, the person who gets 100% in English, and the one who gets 100% in mathematics, and the one who gets 100% in singing, and the other one who gets in drawing, who is better than the other? None. They are all good in their own fields. So let us appreciate what God has given our children. Meaningful. It must be meaningful. Linked to specific observable outcome. Observable. Why? A competence must be observed. You must observe me doing it for you to say, I am competent in it. You can not have a competency that is not observable. So when we tell children, go home and tell mommy to help you count the red spoons. Usikasirike. Don't say these teachers, hey, no. We ask children, go home and tell mommy to show you the members of the family. Usikasirike. We have different forms. Be a present parent. Feedback must be all this. Highlights strengths of the learner. So I want you to go back to the learner, the child in your home. The feedback they're getting from their teacher, does it highlight the strength of your child? Is it written in simple and clear language that you can understand as a parent? Does it guide learners to focus on the expectation of the task, that they are supposed to do this and they can be able to do it? Does it highlight areas that require improvement? Is it individualized? Because we do not have ranking, we don't rank children in CBE. We let everybody have their own marks, and we don't have number 1 to number 20. There's no one competing with another. They compete with what they did yesterday. Communicate the desired performance. For example, if they were writing 1 to 10, your child wrote 1 to 5, the teacher should say that they were supposed to write 1 to 10. Tomorrow they should be able to write at least 1 to 6. Not like the other child. Be kind and encouraging and be prompt. And even this is for the teacher, it is also for the parent. Be kind and encouraging to the learner, to your child, or to the child some of you here may be PTA members. In feedback, when a child brings work that they have done, whether they have drawn how bad, whether they're telling you, what were you drawing here? And they're saying, hey, nayo ni nini? No. In feedback, avoid bias and stereotypes. Umechora mtu mweusi kama, umechora nini nini kama. Stop being biased. Now, let me tell you, in education, there is something we call hidden curriculum. The hidden curriculum is what you tell your child without telling them. It is what they learn from you without you telling them. What they hear you speak, how they hear you describe a certain community, how they hear you describe the president of Kenya, how they hear you describe their teachers, how they hear you describe people who are of a certain body shape. All those are biases and stereotypes. And that is called hidden curriculum. As a parent, you must listen to yourself when your child is around you. Criticism and fault finding. Hata brother yako anajua kusoma zaidi, hujajua kusoma. And I don't know what is this craze about Kenyan parents, that every child at age 4, sijui age 3, must learn how to read. Says who? Who said that? They have not even gone to school to learn, but parents are bragging, my child knows all the colors. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Criticism and fault finding. And you will see a parent killing a child because she's unable to do 2 plus 2. Ambiguity. Stop being ambiguous. And the teacher also should not be ambiguous. Whatever you want the child to do, tell them clearly. 2 plus 2 is this shoe plus this shoe. And sometimes don't teach them because you do not have the teaching competence. Don't pretend that you are the teacher, you're not. Just do what the homework you have been given to do. But do not tell them this is not how to do something. Your teacher is wrong. No, the teacher is a professional, remember? Comparisons and ranking. We stopped that. I beg of you, do not compare children. Do not rank them. Do not go to school demanding to know whether your child was number 5 or was number last. Be happy that the teacher has told you your child can be able to read, that the teacher can be able to do this mathematics, that your child can be able to run, that your child can be able to sing. That is all you need. You don't need to know why they competed with the other person. If they get an A, it is for themselves. It is not for another. If they get a D, encourage your child to get a better grade, not comparison and ranking. Do not use discouraging comments. Teachers will tell you the things that parents can say. Babangu aliniambia kitu mbaya. Mamangu, let's encourage our children. The role of a parent in extended learning. Support the child in the assignment given by the teacher. I've been saying that from the beginning. Support the child. Don't complain. A child comes and says, Mommy, because you've come late, now you're complaining. That you've been told tomorrow you come with sukuma wiki, you're complaining. And you're saying, how alimu, da. The child picks it. Support the child in very, very reasonable assignments. Show genuine interest in what the child is doing. Please show genuine interest. Be available. I can write that in capital letter to help the child in what they're doing, not house. Pastor Charles, you talked about the house managers. It is good for them to be there, but there's a difference of a child who's been helped by the parent and the house manager. I encourage that the parent, the guardian, yes, the house manager can show one or twice, but the responsibility of a parent remains a responsibility of a parent. And you'll obviously a child whose parent is available. They will even tell the teachers that my mom, my dad, and not auntie. Get in touch with the teacher if you have a question or a complaint. Usipige makelele. Just get in touch, hoping that you have the numbers of the teachers. Let the child do the assignment, however bad they do. Don't do it for them. There is no competition. Thank you for that. There is no competition. And it is the child learning. It's not you. You learned. Let them make as many mistakes as they can. That is why they are learning. That's why they are not an adult. They are children. If you are not sure of how the assignment is supposed to be done, simply let the teacher know. Are we together? If you do not know, call the teacher and tell the teacher, uko nyuma. Mwalimu, this one, I do not know how it is done. And the teacher will possibly tell you, leave it alone. Because the teacher does not want the learner to be taught something that will disturb them tomorrow. I'm just finishing now. Don't complain about being involved. Don't complain about the teacher not being considerate. Don't complain about the new curriculum. Don't ask the house help to do what you should be doing. Don't refuse to attend a meeting called by the school. And finally, I say this, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:16. Thank you very much.
Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. That was deep. I think I felt like I want to go back to school.
Yeah, we are always feeling that, even us.
Yeah, because there are a few things I picked up. Like there's a stage of some grades. Like they don't like tell you. There's no way that you're not competing to go to the next class or to pass. Like all of them are being passed to the next class, passed to the next class. And I'm like, wow, I should go back to school. And I think I missed 1 year somewhere. I think I repeated class 1 and class 8. So I lost 2 years right there. So, and it feels like it's not, they say that 844 ilikuwa ya mawano.
True.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very empowering, deep and informative. Thank you so much. I learned a lot. I think this session was just to enlighten us on matters on what is happening in school, because a lot of parents were in the dark. But if something makes you feel you want to be part of it, then it means that the information has been very well passed over to us. So thank you so much. I have learned so much tonight. I also wish I could take this curriculum. Yeah, I think we should go back. We should.
Yes.
We should go back and be taught evening classes. We work during the day. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Like 844 844 boarding school that's a camp. So thank you so much, Lydia. I don't have any question on the comment section, but if in case you have any question, I'm sure the team will reach out. Thank you so much. That was very, very well prepared. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time and effort. I know preparing such kind of a meeting for this kind of a session it does not take, it takes a lot of time. So thank you so much. We really appreciate. We hope to, if we rotate through all the sessions we have, in case we need you, I'm sure you will make yourself available, and then we can come and see what you can hold. Last question. I think this one will be the last one. I have a question. There's a child who was in grade 5, and after being transferred to another school, was taken to grade. Is that allowed?
A child who was in grade 5, that is not allowed.
Okay.
In CBE, there is no repetition. What happens even if the learner was not in school, there is something we call re-entry. Re-entry is different from repetition. If they're in grade 5, they should go back to grade 5. There is no way a learner can be in grade 5 and taken to grade 2. That is so illegal. Like I feel like I would want to know which school is that and which learner is that. There's another question up there. By Eunice. What happens if a learner wants to change from CBC to 𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤 or vice versa? There's no problem. We usually have equation. So the Kenya National Examination Council or even the 𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤 can be able to equate. 𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤 is also age-based, such that if they are 10-year-old, they can be able to place them in a certain class and test them for the competencies. The beauty is CBE and 𝐰𝐨𝐫𝐤 are very close because of competency. So that is not difficult. Whichever, they can be able to be placed in appropriate grade. Yeah.
Great. There's another one there by Betty. What of a student who chooses the pathway of aeronautics?
Oh, so Betty, I can say this, at 𝐻𝐸𝐻, there are no teachers of aeronautical engineering because even at 𝐻𝐸𝐻, they don't need the engineering. In 𝐻𝐸𝐻, there is a subject called, what is it called? I've just forgotten right now. But there is a subject that is very close that exposes them to basic engineering. And in 𝐻𝐸𝐻, they don't choose. All learners are exposed to the 12 subjects in 𝐻𝐸𝐻. So at the point of where they're going to senior school, they must be doing so well in the, why am I forgetting this subject? It is science and mathematics. It's like a STEM subject. They must be doing so well in it, in mathematics, and they must have the interest of it, and they must have a personality for it. You'll notice for them to go to senior school, they're exposed to 3 things: interest, personality, and performance. For you to say they want to become aeronautical engineering, I would expect that they're performing so well in sciences, where we are calling it's integrated science. We have science and technology. Yes, science and technology in 𝐻𝐸𝐻. We have integrated science. They must be performing very well in that. That is what translates to the STEM. And when they go to STEM, they will do engineering, they will do mathematics, they will do technology subjects, and as well as the sciences. So it does not come alone like 𝐻𝐸𝐻, that's where they start. No, everything graduates to another. That's why in this system, we have what we call strands. We do not have objectives. A strand is something that starts from PP2 and that it builds up. The way they are growing is the way the strand is growing. I hope I've answered. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much. We appreciate your effort.
There's another question there. Do you wish I answer it, or time is over?
Oh, no, just go ahead and answer.
About the talent?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Talented. How do they choose the pathway? They determine the pathway. Their interest. If they are good all around, what do they want to become? Trust them, they know. They may be doing so well in mathematics, but they don't want to be mathematicians. They want to go and play football. But you can encourage them to take both pathways because they're good enough. Every school has 2 pathways. They can do both. They can be able to do mathematics as well as they're doing drama. So that when drama is over and mathematics and football is over at the age of 35, they can become doctors later. I think that's it. Pastor Charles, thank you so much for having me.
Let me just read something here by Pastor Alexia. Thank you for your great info in CBE and CBC. So informative, looks so good. The way you are presenting it, so go good. My question is, where is the fallout in terms of implementation? The subjects are way too much. Learners are bombarded with homework. Things we learn in high school is what is being taught in primary school. The teacher of different learning areas sometimes don't know what they are teaching. The children and the children and the teachers are both learning. It's it's not clear what they are being raised to become. More of JSS.
Okay, let me target JS because JS has had an issue, and the issue is not that they don't know what they're doing. They do. Trust me, those teachers know. The only hitch, just like everything that they start has an hitch. But let me say about the many subjects, that is creation of schools. The Ministry of Education has given that JS senior school has this number of subjects to be taught. The issue that they are learning what high school were learning, that those are notions that parents are actually coming up with. And I agree with you. Some teachers, the teachers of different learning areas sometimes don't know what they're teaching. Now, that is about schools and the different schools that we are having. I am believing, and I do not want to hide that there have been challenges in JS simply because of teachers, and this is what there is. Early alone, the teachers who are coming, who are graduating, were teachers who have been trained to teach 844, not CBE. And then they found children of CBE. But that is something that is not there currently because all teachers have been retooled. Yes, we have challenges in certain subjects like science and technology. But if you look at the curriculum design, the other thing that I want to say is this: you as a parent has a role to ask the school why this is happening. Do not be afraid. Ask in the meeting that you feel this way. And the teachers, the principal should be able to tell you what is the problem, but it is school to school to school. I know the private schools are bombarding parents with many things that are not even necessary. Very, very many things, because if they tell you there is no competition, if they tell you there is no ranking, many parents will remove those children from private schools and take them to public schools. But they must give you reason of keeping them in private schools. That is the truth. That they must show you that we are doing extra than the public school. But remember what I've told you. Every grade has a percentage of the final. So do not allow yourself to be, just ask them the questions. Just even quote me in those meetings. I'm in Jogo House. So if they would really question, they would just come and I would say, yes, I trained them that way. I told them, do not push them where it's not necessary. So yeah, so I hear you. I know, Alexia, I hear you, and I know the concerns you're raising, but be a parent who is engaged and empowered. Ask those questions as our learners are also asking questions. Thank you very much.
Okay, last one. How do you determine personality? Particular way?
Yes, we have personality testing, the psychometrics. We have psychometricians in Kenya National Examination Council. We're using standardized tests that are already there. It is a standardized way. You cannot, for example, say Lydia is extroverted, introverted, unless you use a standardized measure. So there are psychometricians who are doing it, and it is part of the examination that NEC gives. Not examination, actually it's an assessment. And it is you cannot even tell that is what they're checking for, but it is also used in placement. There's another question. Pastor Charles there.
Yeah, just go ahead. I think that should be the last one. If anyone sends after that one, I will try and answer.
Okay, so does the Ministry of Education recognize teachers who specialize in sports? How does the curriculum support and nurture students? Oh yeah, if there are teachers who are being recognized as these teachers, in fact, I think TSC gave them a promotion in sports and games and drama. All those teachers are so recognized right now. I think they were given 2 job groups ahead of every other teacher. Note that the teachers are employees of Teachers Service Commission. And therefore, that is where there is, how does curriculum support and nurture students? We are having a whole pathway. In lower levels, the junior students are supposed to participate in physical education and in games. when they choose that career, when they choose the pathway, 90% of the time, sports and games and drama and arts are being nurtured. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. We really appreciate. We have to wrap up so that we can go and watch the news and also prepare for work tomorrow. We really appreciate. God bless you. God bless you, Pastor Lydia. I know it's you are we call them the apostles of the marketplace. So you're an apostle. So
thank you.
Thank you so much for representing Christ in the education sector. God bless you, and may the Lord continue to empower you and
Amen.
equip you even better to even reach out and impact more people. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
And thank you. Amen and amen.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Karibuni sana. Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for your question. I don't know where you are keeping them, and this one cost a lot of commotion at the end, but thank you so much. It means that you are learning and you are listening for you to be able to ask those questions. It felt like I want to go back in school because I think it is a better system than what we were brought up with. And I recall someone online was trying to ask around which high school did you go to, which boarding school did you go to, and most of these schools they made us who we are today. And I believe this is a better system that has gone through a lot of fire, but we believe that it will be perfected, and it will ride on its wings of excellence in the near future, so that our students, our children, and those who are coming, they will have a better, let me call it, mindset. They will have a better story about what how school was and what it gave them. So thank you so much for attending the session. We see you next week we see you on Thursday for Bible study, Friday for the prayers at National Water Amphitheater. Invite a friend. Keep warm. And then for those ones that will be doing Sunday service, we welcome you for Sunday service from 9 a.m. Kenyan time. And for those who are watching online, to watch the online sermons on YouTube, they're happening on YouTube for both the Bible study, the prayer on Friday, and the Sunday service. God bless you. God bless you. We see you next for the next session on Thursday. Bye-bye, and make sure you watch the news so you know what's happening in the Middle East and also what's happening in the nation. Good night, and God bless you. Bye.